Joining us with more details on Silicon Valley Bank is CoinDesk Global Policy and Regulation Managing Editor Nick Day, who's also the editor of CoinDesk's The State of Crypto newsletter. Good morning, Nick. So what's the significance of this SVB Financial stress that it is no longer affiliated with Silicon Valley Bank, which collapsed last week, sending shockwaves through the banking world? So what exactly is going on here?
Hey, good morning. And yeah, that's actually, that's correct. Silicon Valley Bank itself was taken into receivership by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. So SVB Financial, the parent company, is no longer, part of that. It's now, it's been taken away. SVB Financial, it wanted to stress that some of its entities are not part of this Chapter 11 restructuring. But at the same time, we've seen this coming. A couple days ago, the parent company announced that it had, appointed a restructuring committee. It was looking for, quote, strategic alternatives. That's kind of, that's very much saying, without explicitly saying, hey, we might file for bankruptcy in a couple days, but we're trying to see what else we can do first. So this isn't a huge surprise. The parent company said it has about $10 billion, or up to $10 billion in assets and liabilities. So, surprisingly, one of the smaller bankruptcies we've seen, at least in the crypto world, in the last couple months. But it still, suggests it will be able to reopen its doors, metaphorically speaking, once it's through this process. It's looking for a restructuring, not a liquidation. And we'll presumably hear a bit more about the financials as the actual bankruptcy case begins.
So, Nick, there's another bankruptcy, of course, Signature Bank. And anybody who wants to buy that, there's kind of a question as to whether or not they can keep Signet operating. FDIC says, yeah, we're not going to make you get out of crypto. But there was this report from Reuters the other day that said that's not the case. So what's going on here?
This is genuinely a bit of an interesting time, I would say. So, as you said, on Wednesday night, Reuters reported that the FDIC was going to make any purchaser of Signature Bank divest from its crypto activities. On Thursday, the FDIC pushed back and said that's not accurate. They need to sell all of Signature's assets, which includes, presumably, the crypto assets. They didn't say so explicitly. They did tell Reuters that Reuters reporting was inaccurate. So, the Wednesday report was seized upon, many people as a sign that, regulators are really trying to get, bankers and banks out of crypto. But the FDIC itself so far seems to be denying, at least that particular claim. Yeah. We'll see how this continues after the sale.
We don't know about Signet. I might have misspoke there when I said Signet. But nonetheless, do we know what the story is with Signet and as of now?
Well, right now, the FDIC appears to be running Signet. So, Signet is still operational. A number of clients have left, as our colleague Frederick reported the other day. But the actual, system itself is still operational. It'll probably be up to whatever, purchasing bank acquires Signature's assets to decide whether or not they want to continue running it. On the one hand, it is a fairly innovative tool, offering 24/7 access. On the other hand, a different bank might have a slightly different, approach to the risk or whatever caused by running a 24/7 network. So, I don't know if it's going to be a Fed or FDIC decision as to whether or not to continue running Signet, but, even if a bank is able to acquire it and able to continue doing all the crypto activities, a bank itself might not want to do it because, crypto is risky, or there's a number of reasons why they might say, okay, well, we're a little concerned about 24/7 access to these companies.
Well, we'll dive further into that with our next guest. But Nick, thanks for the update. That was CoinDesk Managing Editor of Global Policy and Regulation, Nick Day. Don't forget to sign up for the State of Crypto newsletter on CoinDesk.com.